Feni's imagery had taken a battering for a long time. It was a spirit that I call the world's last exotic spirit. We call it the pride of Goa. It reflects on my culture and my heritage. People don't know about it. It's been in a small state like Goa, never traveled, and if it did travel, it went with stories. The reputation of Feni in the glass and the reputation of the drink actually are two different things. We had to relook it, rethink it, rework it, but without taking out the essence of the drink. We had to keep culture. We had to be respectful of where the drink has come from, because this drink, the first mention was in 1583, before the British came to India. We had European travelers writing about it. So we're talking about a spirit with so much history, so much story, that's kind of losing its way in the last few decades of the millennium. The image makeover had to begin from right to bottom. I decided to create a brand called Kazulo. We are the most premium brand of Feni, and we offer 3 expressions: cashew, coconut and dupchiri. 16 more expressions to come. So this is just the beginning. Around 99-2000, Goa was going through a lot of angst. There was a lot of social angst going on because it was a lot about identity. Tourism kind of burgeoned to a point where we weren't enjoying ourselves here. Property prices were going up. There was a lot of social angst everywhere. And what does it mean to be a Goan? That was kind of churning it up inside me. It had to reflect somewhere. And I think that's where my whole Feni journey began. Because it was part of my heritage, and if I just keep on getting upset and don't do something about it, then who am I to blame? I was young, I was not even 30 then. I was a little audacious, and I decided to give up my career. So I was working for a Fortune 10 company in the oil industry, earning a good salary, living overseas, and I dropped the bombshell home that I'm going to do this. Just saw huge potential which needed to be tapped. The product looked so chic. Everyone thought I was going to be exporting it. I thought differently. If I need to actually create a product, it has to be accepted here. It has to find its roots in Goa. We were at that time double the price of the most expensive Feni. But I was pretty sure that the quality and the respect for tradition would shine through, because I wanted to create a product that still retained its soul. It wasn't commercial. And we started creating a buzz that was stronger with the locals and less with the tourists. I think the local market was looking for something different. They were looking for something that still retained and embodied what a Feni should be like. And we were able to deliver that. My largest audience are all between 25 and 40. We launched 6 years ago. 5 years ago, I offered someone, will you keep Feni at a wedding in Goa? And it was a complete no-no. Fast forward today, we've done close to about 12 different weddings, and it's become quite a regular feature that people do have an exclusive Feni bar. They're doing funky cocktails. They've been taking part in the carnival. We've been taking part in so many other festivals where Feni, which never existed before, is right now at the fore. The story of Feni is never complete if you can't tell the story. So what has actually happened is people have always walked down distilleries and looked upon it, and they've made their own conclusions. Because this isn't a spirit that you can read about online and learn too much about it. There's a lot of misinformation, and if you actually watch the whole process, very much like in all traditional crafts, nobody's going to speak to you and tell you exactly what they're doing. So we needed a place where we can actually showcase the process, and this is one of our working farms. We've got about 6 different working farms. This is one of them. So Fazenda Kazulo is basically a place where we bring people together. People assemble on appointment. And we take them through the experience of Feni that we know, that a real Goan would know. So we take people through the farm, walk them about, talk about the insights behind the process, the story behind it, the culture, how culture, tradition, and life is interwoven with the spirit. And then finally we do a sit-down tasting in the cellar. The cellar is rather interesting because we've got the largest collection of Garafão, big glass bottles that were hand-blown. The oldest I have is over 300 years old. The youngest is 70 years old. We kind of rest Feni for a year before we actually bottle it. And we thought this would be the perfect setting to actually create a tasting opportunity for people with 3 expressions of Feni, where they can actually learn about the drink for themselves. So it's a very personal experience that we actually try and convey back to the people. I think there's a deep sense of simplicity and humanness that is still left in Goa. We have India marching as one of the biggest economies, and you come to a small part on the western coast and you've got something so unique. It's very welcoming. We've been having travelers coming into Goa from time immemorial. Goa was doing trade with Sumeria. Part of the Feni story is also we found evidence of how Mesopotamia actually influenced Feni making. We're talking about going that far. So we've always welcomed people, and we've kind of encapsulated them in the whole Goa experience. The Goa experience for us is very different when it comes to Feni, because this is a spirit that still retains its heart. I think every other spirit is made commercially. They're all industrially made. Where can you find a spirit that is made with love and care of a distiller who's learnt the craft over generations, refined it, and he's finally making it from scratch. He does it at 50 liters at a time. He's starting his distillery with a matchbox. I mean, you don't see industry still working that way and still making product that is competing with international brands. And I think that's the whole charm which we have, in a lot of Goans have taken for granted because we see it every day. But I think for a traveler into Goa, they say this is really a fascinating thing, that in the 21st century you still have a distillery that has no pressure gauges, no temperature gauges. It's the power of observation, the heart that is behind and the soul behind the distiller who's coaxing a spirit out of ingredients that are never used. Who would have thought a cashew fruit, which is originally from South America and never used anywhere else in the world, can be made into an alcohol? It took me a long time to realize the significance of what I'm just going to say is that the cashew fruit has not been used anywhere else in the world. This is the first place. To create something takes a huge leap of imagination. We have not spoofed, we have not drawn inspiration, we have not copied, we've created. And I think the flavors of cashew are so alluring. You can't take Feni out of a Goan and you can't take Goan out of Feni. And I think people who actually travel down, they actually realize what it means. It kind of worms itself into you.